Good morning, it is Jane with Scraptasticyarns, and today I'm doing Movie and Stitch, my Z movie. What I did was Zathura, A Space Adventure. This is a 2005 American science fantasy adventure film, directed by Jon Favreau, or Favre, I don't know. It is an adaptation of the children's book of the same name by Jumanji author Chris Van Allsburg. It is actually a standalone spin-off of the 1995 film Jumanji and the second installment of the Jumanji franchise. It stars Josh Hutcherson, Jonah Bobo, Dax Shepard, Kristen Stewart, and Tim Roberts. Okay. Now, the plot of this movie is Walter and Danny Browning are two brothers who don't get along with each other or their teenage sister Lisa. While their divorced father is away at work and Lisa, whom he left in charge, is napping, Danny discovers an old science fiction themed board game called Zathura in the basement. When he starts playing, the game produces a card that details a meteor shower. After an actual meteor shower occurs in the living room, Walter and Danny realize that the game is affecting reality. They also discover that their house is floating in outer space. Lisa thinks that she has overslept, and it is evening and prepares to go out. The next card actually puts her into a cryonic sleep for the next 5 turns of the game, leaving her frozen solid. Walter soon concludes they must win the game in order to return home, so they continue to play it. They overcome a lot of dangers, including an defective robot. They pass too close to a star and an attack on the house by a race of reptilian extraterrestrials called Zorgons. One of Danny's turns causes an astronaut to appear, who methodically eliminates the house's heat sources as the Zorgons are attracted to heat. He tells Walter to blow out the pilot light on the furnace, but Walter does not do so, out of fear of getting attacked by the robot. The astronaut lures the Zorgons away by setting the boy's father's couch on fire and ejecting it from the house. Walter demands that the astronaut leave, but Danny lets him stay, and Danny is the younger brother. Growing increasingly agitated, Walter accuses Danny of cheating by supposedly moving his piece prematurely. When Walter tries to move the piece back and takes his next turn, the game reacts as if Walter was cheating and ejects him from the house. But the astronaut rescues him. There are a lot of things that are going on, and on Walter's next turn, he receives a card that brings a shooting star that allows him to make a wish, resulting in another heated argument between the boys. The astronaut warns Walter not to make a wish out of anger. Fearing the worst, the astronaut is relieved to discover that Walter merely wished for a football. Autographed. He explains his origins, saying that he and his brother had played the game 15 years before. He received the shooting star that allowed him to make a wish, but after an escalating fight, he wished his brother was never born. This resulted in him being trapped, as he was unable to finish the game without the second player. Upon hearing this, Danny and Walter finally put their differences aside. And you did just see me lower. My chair just went. Lisa awakes from her stasis, and she turns up the heat, so the Zorgons return and anchor their ship to the house. She finally discovers the predicament, and the quartet hide, but they realize they left the game behind. Danny finds the game aboard one of the Zorgon ships, but he is spotted. Walter uses a reprogram card he drew earlier to fix the robot, which attacks the Zorgons instead, causing them to retreat, aside from one that Lisa crushes with a piano. Walter receives another wish card. He used camera stopped, battery died. I am going to start back where Lisa awakens, and she finds she doesn't understand the situation, so she turns up the heat, and the Zorgons return and anchor their ships to the house. Lisa finally discovers the predicament, and the four of them hide, but realize they left the game behind. Danny does find the game aboard one of the Zorgon ships, but he is spotted. So Walter uses a reprogram card he drew earlier to fix the robot, who attacks the Zorgons instead, causing them to retreat, aside from one that Lisa actually crushes with the piano. So Walter receives another wish card, so he uses it to bring back the astronaut's brother back into existence in gratitude for his help and support. And when he appears, he looks similar to Danny. The astronaut reveals that he is actually an older version of Walter from an alternate timeline and commends himself past self for making a better choice than he did. The astronaut and the alternate Danny merge with their counterparts as the timeline changes. So the Zorgons return, and they're with a massive fleet, and they intend to destroy the house. But Danny makes the winning move, and it's revealed that Zathura is a black hole, which proceeds to suck up the Zorgon's fleet and the house. The siblings soon find themselves back in the house as it was before the brothers started the game, just as their father returns. Their bond renewed, they promise to each other and Lisa not to tell about the game and the adventure. After they leave with their mother, Walter's bicycle, which had been orbiting their house, falls from the sky. It was a great movie, and I didn't realize that it was one of the Jumanji authors' movie, screenplay, whatever. But I will tell you, when I started watching it, that was the first thing it reminded me of was Jumanji. It was good. The only thing that I didn't like about it is, of course, because a lot of the artsy-fartsy movie makers do this technique, and I can't stand it. Where things are, they're either dark, and you can't really see what's going on, or the volume is so low when they're talking you can't understand, so you have to turn the volume up. And of course, when you have the action scenes, they're super loud and annoying, and you have to turn that down. So it was a constant up and down thing with it. But it was a good movie. Out of 5 stars, I give it 4. It missed a star just because of the sound issues. That makes me nuts. Can't stand when they do artsy-fartsy. Now, what I did while I was watching this movie, well, let me tell you, I'd gone to the laundromat, and there was a lady that saw me there. She pulled in, she brought me a bag in that had yarn in it from Ollie's. She knows I'm part of the Prayer Shawl Ministry, and she was hoping to catch me at the laundromat when I was doing laundry. So she gave me 4 big Karen Pound 1-pounders. Now, I already have some of this in the limeade color away, but she gave me 3 more of it, so I decided to do this next project that I did work on while I was watching the movie. She did give me one that was in that blackberry or black plum or whatever it is, but I didn't have 4 of those skeins. I think I only have 3. And I probably could have found another one somewhere, or asked someone for it. But I was like, I'm just going to make it out of limeade. It'll be a great Afghan. Somebody will love it. So what I did was the Calming Comfort Afghan. And this is one that is designed by Jean. I always say Jean, but you know, when you see it, you don't know if it's Jeannie. Jean Steinhilber of the Crochet Crowd. And of course, Mikey does the tutorial. It is the after holidays crochet along. Very easy. I really like the texture. That is one thing I love about Mikey and Jean's Afghans. They have a lot of texture. And this is how this came out. This is rows 1 through 13. This is the first week, which started Sunday. And then on the January the 2nd is when the next week is released. And I believe it's 4 weeks. Yeah, I believe it's a total of 4 weeks. So the next one will drop January the 2nd. And I can't wait to do that. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And I will see you again soon. Oh, I am going to give you an update on Thomas. Saturday, the GI doctor came in and said that they still wanted to scope him. He was going to double check with the other doctors because they were concerned there might be an ulcer that was causing the bleeding the first time out or some other issues. So they wanted to do that. Of course, Sunday came, didn't see the GI doctor. Monday came, they'd fed him breakfast. Thomas had asked about it. Then they started, you know, the MPO. They thought they'd get him in that day. They didn't. No GI doctor came again. And the doctor that was in charge of his case there at Williamsport Hospital had told him Monday that after he got the GI scope, no issues, they'd send him home Monday. So, of course, they had to wait till Tuesday. Which it didn't look good for a long time. The doctor came in and asked if they'd done the scope. He got rather angry, perturbed, so he went out and called GI and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I finally show up before they take Thomas down for the endoscopy. And, you know, when I walk in the room, and the Dr. Jaffet, he's adorable. He goes, "And who might you be?" I said, "I am the wife, and I'm not a happy camper." He goes, "I don't blame you." He said, although he'll get his scope and then he'll get to go home this afternoon. I'm sticking around. I'll be back around and we'll discharge him. So I had the scope. He has a hiatal hernia. Of course, most of us that have GERD have hiatal hernias. And he had some petechiae in the stomach, which they think is related to the whole issue with the Avastin reaction and all of that. So, told him to continue on and, you know, discharged him. Of course, he's got appointments 3 days next week, so we'll be doing that. But, he's home. He's up exercising, doing everything he needs to do. And it's like his brother and I when we were talking Monday. Monday here in Lock Haven, it was really bad weather. We got snow at first, and then it turned into freezing rain. So there would have been no way if he was discharged that I could have gotten there because the roads were pretty nasty. So his brother, you know, he said, just look at it like this. The good Lord was looking after you, looking after both of you. I said, yeah, because the last thing we needed was for both of us be on the side of the road and then both of us in the hospital or dead. So, whatever, right? All right, that's it. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope that your New Year's Eve is a wonderful one. Mine, I'm planning on it being just very relaxing. Not doing a whole lot. So I will see you again soon. And remember, be kind to one another.